Hello everyone, Wolfie here. Since many of you like the pre-TBC investment tips, I figured that we should also talk about a few more ways on how to prepare for upcoming TBC expansion. Those pieces of advice will be very useful for players who are mainly focusing on getting their own toons, especially mains, ready for active playing and raiding in TBC. But before that, I want to thank you so much for supporting my channel. The fact that you enjoy my videos really means a lot. Anyway, with that being said, let's get into today's tips. Number 1. Level up farming Druid Alt. If you have watched my class picking guide, you already know how much I like druids, and this is one of the reasons I do. Having farming Druid Alt for TPC is like taking advice from your future self. With outland consumables being necessary for raiding and a lot of them also being hard to get without flying, Druid is hands down the best option to get your farming done. That is if you have time to farm. If you don't, well then you have to have gold. But if you don't have thousands worth of gold, you will likely have to farm sooner or later to keep up with the high cost of TBC raiding consumables. Druid farming, especially with epic flying skill, beats every other class when it comes to farming any kind of nodes or mobs. It is mainly because of instant fly form, but there is also dash, feral charge, tankiness, burst damage, self-healing, etc. Being able to minimize downtime between two mobs or two nodes is what matters. Although currently in beta, players reported that it's bugged and it doesn't let you herb while flying. Is it going to stay like this or is it gonna get fixed? Remains yet to be decided by Blizzard. In Classic Vanilla, mages were on top of farming game, but in TBC, Druid is the king, closely followed by Hunter for mob grinds. Sadly for all of us regular players, most Druids in Outland will be bots. Note from future editing Wolfie, I realized that I didn't fully explain my reasoning behind this advice. While it is true that the pre-patch will simplify the leveling process, as I will mention later on, especially on higher pop and or PvP servers, leveling may be quite a hassle with everyone leveling their Blood Elf or Draenei toons. I would personally advise taking at least some time to get to a high enough level before pre-patch in order to stay ahead of the Zerg once pre-patch hits, if you insist on riding out the pre-patch easier leveling. Number 2. Even if you are not investing into items for reselling in TBC with the intention to buy epic flying as soon as you can, you should still save up some gold, as you will need at least the basic flying skill, and unless you got geared in Classic, you're likely gonna have to spend gold on starter 70 gear, which will help you get into raids sooner or easier. This includes buying wall drops items from the auction house, or early TBC crafted bind on equip gear, which will likely be priced higher before the supply catches up with the demand. Best and slot items from Vanilla are on par with these items. In some cases they are a little bit better, but in some cases they are not. Either way, gold is always welcome, so make sure to have a nice stash when TBC hits, since the economy will likely be more inflated thanks to no fresh policy by Daddy Blizzard and early demand heavily outweighing the supply. Number 3. If you plan on skilling jewel crafting, prepare a skilling kit for yourself. This includes a bundle of Azeroth minerals, gems and ores needed to level up jewel crafting in one go from 1 to 300. Having an alt or even your main with jewel crafting profession will save up a lot of money in the long run, as the rare gems will be selling for quite a bit and you may end up replacing them rather often during progression, for example to catch up with your hit cap. Buying new gems on top of the regular raiding consumables will deplete your gold resources quickly, so having an option to farm and prospect ores and paying just for gem cutting service will be a big money saver. Number 4. Finish all mage boosting you need done. This refers to getting your general farming and or cloth making alts to desirable level or up to level 50 to 60 before pre-patch. Bear in mind that this goes only for leveling via mage boosting and instances, because in TBC questing between 30 and 60 will require less experience than it used to in Vanilla. And this combined with the lowered XP for level requirement, it's actually advisable to do the old school leveling after pre-patch. With changes being introduced in TBC, there will be an AoE cap introduced for most AoE spells including mage ones. It won't totally kill mage boosting, but it will harm it, and make it less efficient for sure. Cap to AoE damage output will be introduced and boosting services might become more expensive due to requiring more of the booster's time, as well as people are likely to be busy with their own pre-patch agenda to boost others. Same goes the other way around. If you are boosting others, dedicate yourself to earn money now easy and fast, before AoE cap. That way, you will be able to focus on your own characters when time comes to spend on starter gear and mats for professions. Number 5. Sell your vanilla raiding consumables, if you're overstocked on them of course. Surely, early TBC progression will be easier with any consumables, but some consumables will not stack anymore, like flasks and elixir for example. few consumables will get an upgraded and easy to obtain version in TBC, and with the fact that Blizzard will allow players to opt to stay in the vanilla realm once pre-patch launches, it is smart move to sell those consumables to such players before the pre-patch splits the player base, since to them they will still hold a similar value. Let's start with something optional. Major Mana Potion will receive two different upgrades, Unstable Mana Potion and a much better Super Mana Potion. If you choose to keep Major Mana Potions, you can use them in dungeons or while leveling, but that's a personal choice if you want gold or easy leveling. Next one is all kinds of food buffs. For seasoned cooks, there will be an easy way of acquiring a lot of recipes for the best in slot food buffs even before reaching 70, such as Crunchy Serpent or War Burgers. So if you are overstocking on vanilla food buffs, try to calculate how much you're gonna save for yourself to raid while waiting on TBC and sell the rest while there's still a demand for it. Alchemists are gonna get upgrades on many of their potions and elixirs, but elixirs themselves will be categorized as Battle and Guardian elixirs. In TBC you can have 2 elixirs active, 1 Guardian and 1 Battle elixir, or you can have 1 flask. Most noticeable changes and upgrades will be to these elixirs. Elixir of Giants will be replaceable with Fell Strength Elixir for way more benefit with a slight drawback. This elixir is most usually omitted for Elixir of Major Agility, an easily obtainable recipe from a trainer which is pretty much an upgraded version of Elixir of Greater Agility and Elixir of Mongoose. Far easier and cheaper to farm and craft, yet so much more powerful. With changes to elixir stacking, tanks will have to choose which elixir suits their gear and stats the best. Elixir of Fortitude is gonna be upgraded to Elixir of Major Fortitude, which will be in my opinion better than Major Troll's Blood Potion. Another tanking elixir is Elixir of Superior Defense with a TBC version of Elixir of Major Defense. It is slightly better and useful if you need that extra push to reach the minimum armor cap needed. Mage Blood Potion is elixir. Yeah, it actually is elixir and will get an upgraded version in TBC called Elixir of Major Mage Blood, and its effectiveness upgraded from 12 to 16 MP5. So in conclusion, there are better or in some cases cheaper options for a lot of vanilla stash worthy consumable awaiting in Outland. So dump these easily replaceable or soon more or less obsolete vanilla consumables and earn some gold before it's too late, and leave the people interested in staying into raid and vanilla to their pure vanilla servers. And as last, number 6. Pick up your desired professions and get them to 300. That way you won't fall behind the player base and you won't have to grind Azeroth materials while everyone else is already making money on their current recipes. Another reason why this is important is when the pre-patch hits, many more players will get to TBC preparation after the pre-patch launch, and then it might be too crowded or overpriced to level up professions, especially on high pop PvP servers. It's gonna be hard to find a free node you need for skilling up mining, for example. That would be all for this video. If you got any more suggestions, feel free to share them with others down in the comments. In the meantime, stay safe and have fun playing the game. Until the next video, bye bye!